What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be going over kind of like a tier list of the Starspawn that are in the game. We've had a lot of time to go through them. A lot of people have a ton of these Starspawn now, and I want to go over which ones you should really aim for, because I know there's still some of you out there that only have like 1 or 2 Starspawn. There's others that literally have like every single one. Just depends on your luck, but it also depends on which ones you're going to level up first, which most people probably only have like 1 leveled up all the way, or at least as far as they can without spending. So we're going to go over what order they should be built in and probably what priority you should go for. Then we are also going to talk about the strategy in order to make this happen. So let's jump right into it. So starting off, I believe everybody would be in pretty much agreement with this one. The number 1 overall pet and is going in the S tier is most definitely the Spirit of Transcendence, aka the Whale. It gives HP, it gives attack, and the biggest one, it gives all damage dealt. So that is a huge stat right there. It gives you 9% at the very max, which is amazing. It gives bonus stats for Transcendence heroes, and that's really important for the end game because everybody is running Transcendence heroes. So it is hands down, I think, the easiest, really no thought process behind it, the best Starspawn you can go for. Now, the second one we're actually going to put in S tier as well is going to be the Assassin. And probably a lot of you might not quite understand why necessarily, but we are putting him there. And that is for the Maim ability. So Maim is essentially deals more damage as the target loses HP, up to a bonus of 20% damage. Now that is really good damage boost right there. Of course, assassins are going to get a 50% bonus, so they're actually going to have a 30% Maim instead. They're also giving fixed attack on this pet. Attack is the best thing that you can find on a Starspawn. That is definitely why it's just insane damage numbers. Pretty close to being tied with the Whale. I still think everybody wants the all damage dealt for the Transcendent Whale, mainly because more people, at least in the end game, that are really hunting these pets are going to have more Transcendence heroes, so it's going to help out. But there are tons of assassins in the meta. You got Sword Flash, you got Rogans, you even have some Drakes and stuff like that. So definitely the number 2 pet overall. After that, though, we are going to jump on down a tier to A, and we are going to go to the Light Starspawn. Now, previously, we thought you should just get all 3 of the Transcendent, Light, and Dark Starspawns right away. Why? Because they have fixed HP, fixed attack, and a bonus stat. Now, this one is still good because big damage is coming out of this. You're getting an extra 18% of holy damage. That is really good because, once again, you're looking for damage Starspawns. Those are the ones that are going to be helping your team out the most. Definitely a great pickup. The next one as well is going to be the Ranger Pet. Now, the Ranger Pet offsets dodge up to 12%. That's going to help against carries. That's going to help against Drakes. Seems to be a really good stat. And the common theme here, fixed attack is one of the best stats out there, or better stats out there. You want attack percent as well, which kind of brings us to the next Starspawn, which is going to be, oddly enough, you wouldn't think so, the Abyss one. Why the Abyss? Why would you pick Abyss over, say, the Dark Starspawn or one of those? Well, that is because the Spirit of Fervor gives fixed attack plus attack percentage. So that gives you 9% attack on the Spirit of Fervor, and of course bonus to Abyss heroes, but you're not using any Abyss heroes, like besides maybe Ignis, you're not using them. He is definitely up there as one of the top, and the only other one I'm going to also put in the A tier is going to be Shadow. So the Spirit of Wraith, that one also gives fixed attack, but it gives the percent armor break. That's another great stat because at max 30% armor break, that could be a huge difference in the amount of damage you're doing. Kind of armor break, holy damage, they kind of go hand in hand. They do slightly different things, but they are very similar in uses. After that, we're going to have to drop down a tier, and we are going to go to the Mage Pet. So the Mage Pet after that is pretty solid. I'm tempted to bump this one up just because of the current meta with Starwing Jara, but I'm going to keep it at B because that's the way everybody's pretty much figured just keep it a B. We got the Spirit of Wisdom at level 140. You're going to get 12% control immunity offset, bonus to mages. I mean, that's Jara right there. And then, of course, you're getting fixed attack. So because it's still fixed attack, it does stay in a higher tier. And then the last one we're going to put in the B tier overall is going to be the Spirit of Twilight, the Dark Starspawn. This one gives fixed attack, fixed HP, and bonus skill damage, but skill damage isn't really the best offensive stat to have. It affects things like bleeds and dots, I believe. It also affects, of course, your active ability. Doesn't really modify, I believe, percent HP or percent attack or any of those style attacks. I'll have to double check on that. But they are what used to be the coveted three were the whale, the light, and the dark. Light and dark, not as good as the assassin for sure. Then we're going to have to bump it down another tier. Yes, the last tier we have here, guys. And the last tier, they're all pretty much grouped together. And they're not really good at all. So they're very interesting. It really depends on what heroes you have. But I would say out of the last four, I would kind of lean on putting maybe the Spirit of Valor in the C tier with fixed HP stat, which again, HP is not great, but it does have crit damage resistance. And that's kind of big because there's quite a few heroes running Punisher staffs in the PvP meta, so that can be relevant. The other one I think that I'm going to put on here is going to be the Forest Starspawn, mainly because it has a percent HP stat on top of fixed HP. Of course, Forest heroes get a bonus. If you have Rogans, maybe that helps you a little bit. It's just not really anything great. And you know what? I actually feel like in the C tier, I'm going to put the Spirit of Prayer, the priest one. It gives you a bonus 12% heal effect. That could be relevant. There's a lot of self-heal going on. There's Fiona's in the meta. There's Rogan's giving Bloodthirst in the meta. It can make a difference. And then coming in at dead last, Spirit of Honor. Block percent just doesn't really feel like is going to do that much, at least for the heroes in the current meta. I mean, it is a decent stat. I just don't know if I would weigh it higher than anybody in the C tier necessarily. This is kind of how we're going to keep it. You'll notice everything in the S and A tier, they're all offensive attack oriented ones. The B tier, still attack, but not as good secondary stats on them. And then, of course, all the HP style ones way down the bottom. So as far as strategy goes, when you are going to be awakening these Starspawns, essentially what you want to do is you want to save one of whatever egg you're really going for, and you're going to want to use this pity timer. When you get to 14 of 15, you are going to want to put one of these eggs in, whether it's a Somber and you're going for the Whale, whether it's the Entangled and you're going for the Assassin one. You're going to want to make sure you save at least one of each of those eggs to use at the very end. Now, if you have more than, say, 2 of these eggs, I do feel like using them along the way, once you get to around 11, 12, 13, 14 summons is not a bad idea, because if for some reason you get an early non-guaranteed Starspawn, that will reset the timer, and it'll feel bad if you get to about 13 and then you keep using like chaotic eggs and you get something you really didn't want. I would recommend using, if you have, say, 3 or more of the same egg, I would save them up and start using them, say, at like 12 of 15, and then just use it every single one until you get it, whether it's on the guaranteed or previous. And then again, repeat the process if you get the wrong pet. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know what you guys think. If you want more information, let me know. Leave a comment down below if you think the list should be tweaked or the order should be changed, because I love to hear everybody's opinions. And I'll see you guys next time.